Let's set up a dialog using SmartUI plugin for Construct 3. The first step is to add the SmartUI plugin. It will automatically load the libraries necessary for all the add-ons to work. You don't need to do anything else. Now, let's add a 9 patch, which will be our dialog. If you want, you can work with any object type like sprites. Since we are using a 9 patch, we must configure it to render correctly according to the design of our window, and add the SmartUI dialog behavior to our it. Dialogs are composite objects that require additional objects to be fully created. However, all of its parts are optional. You can still control it through the available ACEs. We need a button to close our dialog. It must have a name in the component's name field. Component's name must be unique within the object's hierarchy. In this example, we will use a single texture in our button, and set up different animations to distinguish each button state. Let's link it with our dialog by adding it to its object hierarchy. Now, set up our dialog properties. Start by indicating the name of the close button, which must match an existing component's name in the hierarchy. And set up the open and close animations for the dialog. It works. Make sure all the children object properties can be transformed by the hierarchy, including opacity and visibility. If you don't mark those attributes, you will have to control their properties manually in the event sheet. Notice the open animation didn't play. That's because it's considered opened, since its instance already exists in the layout. To trigger the open animations, we must create the instance using the SmartUI plugin action, Open Dialog. I've added the Destroy Outside Layout behavior, and move the dialog out of the layout. Next, we'll create a button to call the Open Dialog action when it's pressed. Complete the button look and feel. I'll add its label using a text object and link it with its hierarchy. In the event sheet, we'll add the on-click event of the button to react when it's pressed, and then call the Open Dialog action of the SmartUI plugin. Opening a dialog is the same as creating an instance of it with its hierarchy, including using templates. But this action also triggers the animations. That means you can also use the Create Instance action of the System plugin to create a dialog. This is useful if you have to customize it according to your game needs. You can set up the rest of the dialog parts whenever you need them. Let's add a Minimize button, change its component name and link it to the dialog using the object hierarchy. We also need the minimized icon to be displayed when the dialog minimizes. Both components must use the SmartUI button behavior. Dialogs can also be modal. It means they will block for interaction any component in the back until the dialog closes. All the interactions of the SmartUI components use z-index to determine which component is on top. With our Minimize button and the icon setup, we have completed our sample dialog. SmartUI for Construct 3 by Pixel Perfect Studio.